we
Hey,
go.
there you are.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Excited to be here.
Well, it's wonderful. I had such a good time speaking with you a couple days ago.
Yeah, that was a great call. That was a great call. Very exciting.
Well, you know what's crazy? You were telling me about how you found me,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it started with. Did it start with the 4 hour work week?
It kind of started off with the 4 hour work week. That book kind of sparked some interest in, lifestyle design and exactly what I enjoy doing and how I wanted to spend my time. Um, and an idea came shortly after that. And I wanted to try to figure out how I should trademark, patent, what the difference was between the two. And I did a general Google search, and one of your YouTube videos popped up. And
Okay.
I watched that one, and then the next one, and the next one, and the next one,
They're,
and the next.
they're like potato chips, aren't they?
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Yeah, potato chips. I couldn't stop. But that was when I first came across InventRight.
Okay.
And yeah,
Well, I think there's over 450 videos, so there's quite a few of those up there.
there is, and so many different topics to choose from. Um, YouTube, they call it YouTube University. Now is you can find anything on YouTube and really learn some good things. And I just grateful for the content that you guys put up, because it helped me pretty far along my process as far as beginning licensing. But when I wanted to get a little bit more hands-on and a little bit more guidance, that's when I found the InventRight Bootcamp, and I'm glad I made that decision.
Okay. Well, we try to provide a lot of information. I think we
Mhm.
do. But there's a lot of little details, as you probably know now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there's a lot of little twists and turns that I don't think most people realize how important the coaching is because, information's great, but when you need to get some feedback or when someone reaches back out to you and, how do you navigate that world? That's a whole nother world, isn't it?
Whole different ballgame. Whole different ballgame. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize it's all in the little details
Mm.
of that process, and our coaches are pretty darn good at it.
Awesome. Awesome. Like Ryan Diaz ended up being my coach. And there was a time where we were coming across the sell sheet, and we knew that we needed an action shot of the product being used, as in the sell sheet. I was like, man, I don't have a prototype. What am I gonna do? And he said, oh, no problem. You have CAD drawings, or you have drawings or a design of it? I was like, yeah. And he said, just get somebody who's good with graphics, and have them Photoshop it in, and it'll be all right. And that step right there probably saved me a few $100s,
Okay.
alone, and time, of having the tooling made up and all that. And I think it's just different little tricks to the trade that you get when you're in direct communication with one of the coaches.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I saw your sell sheet. That was a pretty awesome job on that sell sheet. I mean,
that's the InventRight Studio right there.
well,
Yeah.
what's crazy about that? That's so important,
Mhm.
right? That that's your first impression, right? So people don't realize that either because we see a lot of sell sheets that need some work. Let's put it that way, and that
Mhm.
takes some time to get it back and forth. And a coach can really do that for you.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Yeah, because they see a lot of them and they know what works and what doesn't work. And our design team, does it every single day, so they're pretty darn good at it. You had a good one too. I know who did yours. He's one of the best guys we have
Oh,
over there.
yeah. I like him a lot. He was really efficient, and he was. I think he understood the points that I was trying to come across, and how exactly what I wanted to be there. And he just worked well with like the correction. He was really efficient. I really enjoyed Stu. I hope I can get him for my next one.
I know I saw some of the other work he's done. I know he's done work for Ryan. That's how we found him.
Mm.
And usually companies don't take logos or some things like that, but his work is so good, the companies just love his work. So he's truly a pro.
Yeah.
Now, you had mentioned too, and I think this is kind of typical. You got discouraged, didn't you? I mean,
I did, as I was building my list of potential licensees, I went through, I think I was getting my leads from the trade show in Vegas, the Super Zoo.
Okay.
And I went through about 600 or so websites, trying to look at their catalogs and seeing whose catalog my product would fit well on. Okay. Because there's all types of different pet companies. They can sell clothing or food or toys, or all types of different accessories. So from that list of 600 websites, I ended up getting around 50 potential licensees. And as I pitched to them, I continued to get similar responses. Great product, not a good fit for us, or thank you for showing interest in our company, but we're not accepting outside product submissions, and so on and so forth. And at first I was excited that I was able to get in and speak to these different VPs and administrators of product development and marketing analysts and stuff like that. But after you get past 7, after 7 no's, I was like, okay, when is somebody going to show some type of interest? Because I felt like the idea was great, especially when I was coming up with it. Right. So doubt naturally started to creep in, and close to about, I think, 30 or so no's, after thinking about how long it took me to build that list and how quickly I was getting the no's, it's like my list was going from here to here, and I was just like, oh my gosh. But I talked to Ryan about it, and I actually, another idea had come along during that time, and I was like, I want to share my focus. I only have a little bit longer with inventRight. I want to get a deal. Maybe I can work on 2 projects at the same time. And Ryan just assured me, he was like, I've seen this time and time again. I told you it wasn't going to be easy. You knew it was going to be difficult. He said, stick to the race, stay strong, and just don't share your focus. And Ryan, he's so forward. He said, I really don't care for you moving in that direction right now. Mm-hmm. And he hadn't led me wrong yet, up until that point. So I just had to trust. I trusted his expertise, and fortunately, the next company I pitched to, which ended up being the last company I pitched to, was the company that said they were interested and said they wanted to move forward with the licensing deal. So
it's really an emotional roller coaster, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It is, absolutely.
Yeah. It is more than people realize, and then the coaches have seen this over and over again. So this is like a movie they've seen, right? You're in a movie. You're starring in a movie they've already seen so many times, and you're in it. Right, so you can't even see yourself, and he's seeing this, going, this is probably a pretty good idea. It's going to take a little while. Keep at it.
Right.
That perspective people don't have, and I think some of them give up too early, or they change directions, like you wanted to do.
Right.
And then, but the coaches keep everybody on track, and that's, I think, one thing people don't realize too. To keep you accountable, right? Hey, you need to do this. Stay on track. And I'm glad that you did. So how did you feel? Okay.
When I got the initial,
yeah,
I think I had got just interest 1 or 2 times prior to that. So I was like, okay, I've experienced interest before.
Okay.
But what happens when they go past that? So when they said they wanted it and they felt like they could do something with the product, and they wanted to talk about sending a draft contract over, that was that was pretty surreal. I don't even think words can really explain. I was talking to Ryan, and he said that, because I just had a daughter. My daughter was born last January. And he said, when you see your product on the shelves, he said, that's the closest thing you're probably liken it to. So I know there's still a higher like euphoria to go. But when I got that interest, it was unbelievable. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, when I look back, when I first saw my first idea in a retail store, it gave me goosebumps, man. It's like, wow. And I remember telling my family and friends, and because they all thought I was a little crazy a little bit, right? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And when I saw it, it made me feel, I don't know, maybe I felt proud. I felt like, okay, all right. And little recognition too. I have to admit, it was a little bit like, all right, I did it.
Right. Because at that point, I think for me I had watched so many YouTube inventRight YouTube videos, and I had read so much on the forum, for inventRight members, and I had read the newsletters and been on the webinars and read the student success stories. But as far as the community that's around you, family, friends, maybe people that you work with, employees, whoever you're sharing the process with, as you're going through it, while you're talking about it, it's just a theory at that point. It's just theoretical. So this whole time you're aiming for something that most people have never experienced. They've never gone through the process. They don't know what it looks like. That when it happens, they're like, oh my goodness, it actually happened. It's just and that's where it comes in. We're like, whoa, this is kind of weird. Like, it was awesome. It was awesome.
Well, the coaches, I was trying to explain this to someone the other day. I said, when one of our students licenses an idea, we all celebrate. And they're like, well, what do you mean by that? I go, well, number one, we share it company-wide and everybody claps. The whole thing comes in. They're like, yeah, they're pumped up because they get to relive it again. Right.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And reliving that moment of that first time, I think it's kind of like your first kiss, right? It's like, okay, it's a pretty amazing time. You don't quite forget it.
Never forget it.
But we get to experience it all the time. Mm-hmm. And that's why everyone's success is important, right? Mm-hmm. It's important to everybody at inventRight because they've been through it. They know what it's like. They know what to get the no is. They mm-hmm. know all those things. They know the struggle. They know what it feels like when something great happens. But also the whole community celebrates. Mm-hmm. And that's the one thing I do like, because we have to stay together a little bit on this. Because
right. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a little bit different, and it takes some courage. And so that's what we really like about inventRight, is celebrating those wins, celebrating climbing the mountain, reaching the top, making that happen, and then we all celebrate each other for it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a little bit, yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that from start to end with me. Just incredible. So thank you very, very much.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Hi, this is Stephen Key, and I just want to thank you for watching inventRight TV. We're here to save you time, save you money, and show you how you can bring your products to market through licensing. So please subscribe down below, click on the button, and tell your friends. Thank you.